Welcome back to my channel, where we explore fascinating topics and discussions based on Christian faith. Today we are going to discuss and imagine a world where Christ was never crucified. Now let's get into it. The crucifixion of Christ is considered a pivotal event in Christianity, believed to have bridged the gap between humanity and God. Christ's sacrifice on the cross is seen as the ultimate act of atonement for human sins, allowing believers to have a personal relationship with God and communicate with Him directly through prayer. If Christ was never crucified, the forgiveness of sins and the ability to approach God directly in prayer may not have been established. In the absence of Christ's sacrifice, an alternative means of prayer to God will involve the need for intermediaries, such as priests or religious figures, to intervene on behalf of individuals or the entire community. In such a scenario, individuals may have to rely on the guidance and assistance of priests to communicate their prayers and petitions to God. The priest would act as a mediator, offering prayers and intercessions on behalf of the people and conveying messages between them and God. The absence of direct prayer to God will lead to reliance on religious leaders for spiritual guidance and access to God in prayer. Through the sacrifice of Christ on the cross, believers can approach God individually, expressing their thoughts, concerns, gratitude, and seeking guidance or forgiveness without the need for an intermediary. This direct connection is often perceived as an intimate and personal way to communicate with God. If Christ was never crucified, it is possible that the practice of offering animal sacrifices to atone for sins may still be prevalent in religious traditions. Animal sacrifices was a common ritual in the Old Testament before the time of Christ. Animal sacrifice was seen as a means of seeking forgiveness and reconciliation with God. The shedding of blood through the sacrifice was believed to symbolize the transfer of sin and the appeasement of God's justice. The crucifixion of Christ is considered the ultimate and final sacrifice, rendering the need for animal sacrifices obsolete. If Christ was not crucified, various religious traditions may continue to perform animal sacrifices as a way to seek atonement for sins. The offering of animals with their blood, symbolizing purification, may be seen as necessary for seeking forgiveness and restoring a relationship with God. The role of priests or religious leaders would likely be essential in facilitating these sacrificial rituals. They would act as mediators between individuals and God, overseeing the sacrifices and ensuring the proper protocols are followed. The priest would interpret the signs and symbols of the sacrifices, conveying messages from God to the people and guiding them in their spiritual journeys. The absence of Christ's crucifixion could potentially lead to the continuation of animal sacrifices as a means of seeking atonement for sins. If Christ was never crucified, it would have implications for the reception of the Holy Spirit. The crucifixion of Christ is closely tied to the coming of the Holy Spirit as described in the New Testament. After Christ's crucifixion and resurrection, he ascended into heaven and promised to send the Holy Spirit to his followers as a gift. The Holy Spirit is the presence of God dwelling within believers, guiding, empowering, and comforting them. If Christ was not crucified, the specific event of Pentecost and the subsequent outpouring of the Holy Spirit may not have occurred in the same way. The reception of the Holy Spirit could potentially be different or absent altogether. In the absence of the reception of the Holy Spirit, there may be a greater reliance on priests or religious figures as intermediaries. These individuals would play a crucial role in facilitating spiritual experiences, interpreting God's guidance, and offering assistance to believers in their pursuit of a relationship with God. I encourage you to share your thoughts and perspectives in the comment section below. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up and share with your friends and family. And as always, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay tuned for more captivating content. Until next time, thank you for watching, and may God bless you.